all know, we are trying to learn about Karl Marx. In my previous lectures, I told you about who was the Karl Marx, why he born, and when he died, and why he died. And you also know that Karl Marx was the founder of communism, and the people in the present who are following the communism, we can also call them Marxists. And Karl Marx was totally against capitalism, and you understand that in my previous lectures. And when I want to tell you one thing, what is the capitalism? Capitalism means that while we have the private property holders, the example is in USA there's a Marx Zuckerberg. We can take the example of India. We have Ambani's. They are the capitalists. In capitalism, poor becomes more poor and rich becomes more rich. And Karl Marx was against that capitalism. And Karl Marx, that's why Karl Marx gives the concept of communism. Communism means where we have no class, where each and every individual have been taken in the same way, in an equal way. Communism means equality. And today you know that what was Karl Marx, what was his ideology. And today I want to tell you one thing. Karl Marx says what is history. About history, Karl Marx says history is the class struggle of history. History is the history of class struggle. Everywhere Karl Marx is talking about the conflict. As you know, in the previous lectures, I told you he is a conflict theorist. It means Karl Marx again and again trying to say that in every society there are two groups which have conflict between. One is oppressive group and one is which has been oppressed. One is the group which have developed, one have which have not developed. According to Karl Marx, he said everywhere there is a conflict, there is a struggle between two groups. And Karl Marx says about illumination. What is illumination? Karl Marx says when a person feels that his presence in the society is useless, he is not able for the society, he has no value in the society, it means, according to Karl Marx, it's illumination. When a person sees himself, thinks about himself, I am isolated from society, there is none of my contribution to the society. And today I want to tell you what Karl Marx gives the four stages in our society. The four stages given by Karl Marx in society. First stage, Karl Marx gives that was the primitive communism. The first stage which Karl Marx gives. Primitive stage communism means that where we have classless society. In this society there is no conscience about the class. There is no ego, there is no class. Each and every individual is equal. What is equal? In primitive communism. After that, Karl Marx gives another class. That class is the Asiatic mode of production. Asiatic mode of production means that where we have master and slaves. Slave families, slave society and masters. Different masters have many slaves and slaves are under the masters. It was the second stage given by Karl Marx in society. Number third, the Karl Marx gives the stage in our society that is feudalism. Feudal system. Feudal system means this is like a slave system, but there is the feudal lord and the peasant. Who peasant? We can call the peasant that type of peasant serf. Serf means that landless farmer. It is in the feudal system. We have the farmers which have not the land, and we have feudal lords. They have the owner of lot of land, and the serf and the landless peasants are working on the lands of feudal lords. And another concept lost, he gives the capitalism. And he uses whole focus on the capitalism societies. In capitalism, we have industrialists and the laborers, and he calls them bourgeois and proletariat. Proletariat and bourgeois, concept by Karl Marx. The capitalists are the industrial holders. They are accumulating wealth by the workers, and the capitalists in their eyes, they have no value of the workers. They have only value. Capitalists in the capitalist families, in the capitalist society, there is the value of goods, not the value of workers. Because workers are working in the factories of capitalists, but capitalists have the value of only the goods. They have not the value of the worker. But Karl Marx is saying goods are not important, the things are not important which are making in the factories. It is the worker who is important. And he also says that when workers know about their power, when workers go unite, and at that time they will throw out this capitalism and they will compel every capitalist to fulfill their demands until when workers wake up. Karl Marx says when workers wake up, they will throw this capitalism, they will destroy this capitalism system, and he says Karl Marx. And another, he gives the last concept, that was a utopian group of the Karl Marx. And he says when workers know about their power, when workers go unite. In capitalism, I want to tell you one thing, remember it, in capitalism society, in capitalism rule, rich goes more richer, poor goes more poor. And that's why Karl Marx says communism is a must. And when he says that when workers know about their power, when they will destroy this capitalism system, and there comes the social system. Again we will go in the communism, in security, in the primitive way, in the previous way, in the premium class. He tells about the class-based society, that is communism. And then after the destruction of those classes, all is those four classes, where the last is the capitalism, of the destruction of this capitalism, he said again comes communism. And Karl Marx was the one person have been criticized by many socialists, because Karl Marx talked only about the one group which was suppressed. He didn't talk about the middle class societies, and that is why Karl Marx has been criticized in Germany. And Karl Marx was also not a journalist. He gives also his theory in journalism, that is communism theory. We can say it is communism theory. Why he says there should be no privatization of media. Media should be always under the control of the government, and media should help how to we can aware the people. And Lenin also says I can use the newspaper as a tool of the development of public.